Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another hormonology tip. I'm hormonology founder, Gabrielle Lichterman, the creator of the popular hormone horoscope apps. I'm sure you've heard about them from all your friends. I also created the Female Forecaster app, which is an app for boyfriends and husbands of cycling partners. And as if I'd ever forget, I am the author of 28 Days, What Your Cycle Reveals about your moods, health, and potential, available Amazons around the world. Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited about this hormonology tip because honestly, I just thought about it this morning. I was planning to share something completely different, and I was planning that tip all week. But then I got inspired this morning. So today's going to be a little bit loosey-goosey, but I think it's an important tip. And so we're going to skip past what I was going to share with you. Maybe we'll do that next week. And we're going to go into what I want to share today. So why was I inspired to change hormonology tips? Because this morning I was doing my hair and I was really frustrated. Seriously. I was so mad at my hair, and I just had this impulse to start cutting it, to start cutting bangs or just do something, dramatic. And I thought, why the heck am I having that impulse? It took me years to grow this hair. Why do I want to cut it? So I thought, of course, where am I in my cycle? And I realized I'm on a plunging estrogen day. And the reason I'm feeling this impulsive desire to cut my hair out of frustration is simply because of plunging estrogen. And then I thought, well, isn't that funny? Because really, there's another time in your cycle when you're impulsive too, but for a totally different reason. So I thought, well, this would make for a great hormonology tip. What I want to do today is share, why am I impulsive on certain days in my cycle? And what can I do about it? So I want to explain to you that there are two times in your cycle when you tend to be more impulsive. And those reasons for being impulsive are different, and the way you're impulsive is different. So we'll get right into it. So week 2, the week leading up to and including ovulation, is one phase of your cycle when you tend to be more impulsive. When you're impulsive on these days, though, it's for kind of exciting stuff, thrilling stuff, rewarding stuff. So you're more impulsive when you shop. You might spend a lot of money. You're more impulsive when you gamble. You might, put $1,000 on black. You're more impulsive when you drink. You might drink more. You might speed down the road, blowing all speed limits. You take more risks, you're more daring, and you're looking for a thrill. So when given the opportunity to be impulsive about taking a thrill, you're more likely to do it during your week 2, the week leading up to and including ovulation. I'll explain why in a minute. So the second time you're more impulsive in your cycle is your week 4, your premenstrual phase, and this is the 6 days leading up to your period. But on these days in your cycle, these week 4 days, you're more likely to be impulsive when you're upset, when you're frustrated, sad, when you're angry, irritable. And the way you express this impulsivity is by doing things that are kind of, express that irritation. So you might throw your artwork in the trash or burn your report because you don't think it's coming out great. Or you might quit a job, or you might cut bangs into your hair. You might do something impulsive, but that's kind of destructive. So week 2, when you're impulsive, you do things for a thrill. And in week 4, when you're impulsive, you do things to express that frustration. So let's talk a little bit about why these feelings of impulsivity spike during these times in your menstrual cycle and what you can do about it. Because really what we want to do is we want to have a little bit more balance. We don't want to, bet all of our mortgage money on black. And we don't want to, do something we can't take back, like burn our artwork. We want to have a little bit of balance. So understanding why you feel more impulsive during certain times in your cycle can help. So let's go into that. Let's go into the hormone stuff. So during your week 2, estrogen is high and rising. It's really spiking. You're experiencing a surge of estrogen. And normally this is good. I mean, when estrogen is high and rising, it boosts your mood, your optimism. It makes you more social and chatty and extroverted. It gives you more confidence. But it also gives you a craving for a thrill. You love excitement. What's happening is that spiking estrogen is, firing off a lot of stuff in your brain when you get excited, when you get a thrill. And those things that are firing off, those chemicals that are bursting, dopamine, they feel good. It's like a rewarding feeling. So, when you're in a position where you can do something that's thrilling, at a time in your cycle, your week 2, when your hormones are already making you like crave a thrill and giving you more rewarding sensations when you do something exciting and thrilling. Well, honestly, that's just a double whammy. How could you resist? No wonder you're more impulsive. No wonder you're more likely to gamble and spend a lot of money and drink more and, break the law. So that's week 2. Your high and rising estrogen makes you more impulsive about thrilling things because it's producing a greater amount of brain chemicals and making changes in the brain that make you more excited when you do thrilling, risky things. Now let's talk about your premenstrual week 4. What's going on there? Well, it's the complete opposite, actually, and it's really interesting. So you're also impulsive in your week 4, but unlike your week 2 where your estrogen is high and rising, in your premenstrual week 4, your estrogen is low and falling. So you're impulsive during your premenstrual week 4 as your estrogen is low and falling because as estrogen drops, it can create changes in the brain that impact your mood. It makes you more easily frustrated. It makes you more impatient. It makes you more critical of yourself. It drags down your confidence. So now when you put yourself in a position or you happen to be in a position where you're feeling less confident or you're feeling frustrated or you get irritated, well, again, there's that double whammy. You are frustrated or sad or you're lacking confidence, and now your hormones are also pushing you down. So you've got this situation. Let's say, I think we've all been in this situation. You're getting dressed to go out with your friends, and it's your premenstrual week 4, and you look in that mirror, and I don't care how, outwardly beautiful you are compared to, our standards of beauty today. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you usually feel so great about yourself on other days. That premenstrual week 4 can really knock your confidence about your appearance, even if you don't put value on your appearance. I don't. I hate that women are judged by their appearance. But I have to admit, even in my premenstrual week 4, like today, I'll look in that mirror and just be so frustrated. Why isn't my hair doing what I want it to do? Why isn't my makeup doing what I want it to do? Why isn't my clothes hanging right? So when that happens during your premenstrual week 4, you're in a situation where you're frustrated yourself, you lack confidence, and your hormones double up on this by putting you in a frame of mind that's already lacking confidence and sad, and you're sad or you're frustrated. Well, that's where that impulsivity comes from to do something destructive. So week 2, rising estrogen makes you impulsive about chasing a thrill and taking risks. And week 4, plunging estrogen makes you more impulsive about acting out of frustration and sadness. Now, why is this all important to know? Because I said before, you really want that balance. You don't want to be in your week 2 and spending money you don't have or taking risks that can be dangerous to yourself or others. For instance, driving, after you've had some drinks. Maybe you think you could do it. Maybe you had that confidence or there's a thrill there. You want to be able to pause and say, you know what, maybe this risk isn't worth taking. Maybe I don't have the money for this, or this isn't safe for me or other people. And in your premenstrual week 4, it's the same thing. You want that balance. Because if you get frustrated, say, with your work, and I admit I've done this myself, and you throw it away, and you can't get it back, it's it makes things worse. It's self-destructive. And to be honest, there's times when you could feel like hurting yourself. Um, those with premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD, or premenstrual exacerbations, PME, may feel at this time that, when something goes wrong, that exaggerated feeling, they want to harm themselves. And so you want to gain that balance. And part of that comes from just acknowledging, okay, my hormones are doubling up on me. It's a double whammy. If I'm in my week 2 and my hormones want me to take risks and I'm in a position where I can, let's pause. Maybe this isn't the best avenue. And if I'm in week 4 and I'm frustrated and I acknowledge, okay, my hormones are, already bringing down my mood and making me more easily frustrated, so I'm more impulsive about just, taking action that's could be destructive for me or that I'll regret later, I can pause. And, there are some ways that you can deal with this after you pause. You acknowledge what's happening with your hormones and then take action to overcome it. Say, talk with a friend, talk with a parent or a sibling or a counselor, or your sponsor. Talk with somebody, just get it out there. Just, say, what you're feeling. Sometimes just expressing it is enough to get over it. There's other ways. You could just walk away from the situation. Say you're at a casino and you're just so over your limit. You've been to the ATM 5 times already. And, the only thing left in your account is, what you need to pay a car bill. Walk away from the situation, pause, then walk away. And, people use other coping mechanisms, healthy coping mechanisms, such as prayer, or meditation, or exercise, to try to just distract themselves and produce some good feelings and try just get into something else, whatever it is. But the good news is knowing when you're most likely to be impulsive in your cycle, those 2 weeks, week 2, the week leading up to and including ovulation, and your week 4, your premenstrual phase, just helps you understand what's going on so that you are able to pause and use whatever coping mechanism you can to make a decision and choose a path that has a better outcome. All right. So I warned you. I told you I was inspired to do this morning because I really think it's an important thing to know. It's, I live my life through hormonology. So I'm always thinking through the prism of my hormones. How is this action impacted by my hormones? And sometimes I just do it so automatically and reflexively that I forget, that this isn't something everybody knows, but it's something that's really helpful to know. And so that's why I'm sharing it today. So if you have any questions about what I've discussed, please let me know. Email me at gabrielle@myhormonology.com or leave a comment down below. And if you want to learn more about your cycle, but how your hormones impact you in every single way, please visit my website, myhormonology.com. I hope you found this video helpful, and until next time.